All right, so the e-bike industry and community right now is in a chokehold from the legislators. And I'm using that term because in my last segment, we talked about the e-bike laws and regulations that happen in California, banning throttles and making it pretty difficult for you to own anything over 750 watts. Now, this is going to be happening here in the US all across the country, starting with California. And now it's my prediction that New York City is going to be putting something out here pretty damn soon. With that being said, this is going to be happening all across the country through 25 into 26. I think it's going to become more and more difficult for you to legally own those things. Not to say you couldn't have them, but you might get cited or you might get them impounded. With that being said, we'll talk about that later in the video, but I wanted to jump into this topic right here, Washington State launching e-bike rebates. Now, this isn't the first time the state's done this, but they have sold out really, really quickly depending on where you live. These programs are usually for people that have a lower household income. So their household income here, they can get a rebate depending on what their income is from $1,200 to $300. And they only have 8,500 vouchers. Now, it sounds like that's not a lot. It kind of is, but it isn't, depending on the area. These things sold out pretty quick. In Colorado, I believe it was like about an hour these things sold out. With that being said, I find it kind of funny to see this voucher program pop up because a lot of these states and cities seem to follow suit what California's been doing with the laws and regulations, but they're willing to give you a rebate on a bike that quite possibly is 750 watts, quite possibly has a throttle, but then, would be banned. So it's kind of weird, in my opinion. But just kind of wanted to bring that to light. So if you live in Washington State and this program is still available, maybe you take advantage of it. Now, this story is pretty interesting because New York City wants to get rid of Class 3 e-bikes that weigh over 100 pounds. So 100 pounds or more. Now, I have maybe about 14 or 15 different Class 3 e-bikes here, and none of them weigh over, I'd say, like 72 pounds. I think the heaviest one I have is 72 pounds. Now, it's not to say that they don't exist because I did have one that was roughly about 100 pounds. I think it was like 99 pounds. It was a dual motor, dual suspension, 4.5-inch wide tire, 26-inch wheel. It was a beefy bike, and it was about 100 pounds. But it's not to say that that's what's rolling all around New York City right now. A lot of the people that are riding Class 3 e-bikes, they weigh between 50 and maybe 70 pounds, depending if it's a really extended long cargo bike. With that being said, this article, as well as all the other articles, will be linked in the description below for you to be able to follow along at your own pace. But I wanted to bring it to your attention because they're basically trying to follow exactly what the EU's been doing for quite some time, talking about 250 watt to 350 watt max. All right, so this next article might give you a bit of a headache. I'll link it in the description below so you can read it on your own time, but it basically talks in circles the whole time. The future of e-bikes, regulation or innovation? New tech could solve NYC's licensing dilemma, which is a dilemma to a lot of people who live there because they want somebody to be held accountable just in case they get in an accident, and we want somebody to sue because at the end of the day, there's been a lot of accidents, whether it be pedestrians just crossing in the middle of a bike lane and getting hit. This is why I highly encourage you to create your own LLC to protect yourself so that LLC is held liable for anything that could possibly happen. We can dive into that in a later video if you want me to. I've been doing it now for about 12 years to help protect myself. I want to scroll down to a certain point here to talk about a couple of points: smart helmet integration and AI and connectivity. I find these two the most interesting and the most concerning. Cutting-edge helmets with built-in communication systems could alert riders of potential hazards in real time. I find that to be kind of fun and interesting, almost like maps on a display to be able to let you know there's traffic. But what I'm seeing here is potential hazards in real time. As you go further, it says e-bikes equipped with AI technology could autonomously adjust speeds based on traffic conditions, reducing the likelihood of accidents. So that means that basically the AI built into it can limit the power and speed of the potential of your bike, which in my opinion is a no-go. I want to be able to have that power at my disposal just to get myself out of a situation if need be. That's just my opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comment section below. If you're looking for any articles that are properly written instead of those two, head over to Electrek. I mean, they've got some really good articles by Micah Toll. The Real Problem with High Power Electric Bikes on Mountain Bike Trails. Really good article. Check it out. Oregon law seeks to ban many street legal electric bikes from bike lanes. Pretty decent read as well. This is what we just talked about coming for heavy bikes. And Super 73. They are one of the companies, as well as Specialized and other ones I've heard down the pipeline, that are basically going to be limiting your bikes right out of the box. So their workaround on this is doing a software lock. So if their bike already is capable of doing 28 miles per hour, it's not going to be doing that anymore. They're going to software lock it at 20 miles per hour, and it's not going to have the option to be able to use that throttle to get to 28 miles per hour. Now, there's other companies out there that are going to be affected by this, like Rad Power. Ride Power's got this cargo bike, 28 miles per hour, 750 watt motor, has a throttle. Is this going to be one of those bikes that would not be able to be ridden in California legally? Well, they might have to find a workaround. Same thing with electric. Electric's got one, and they have a bike that is very, very competitive with that bike. It goes 28 miles per hour, but has a peak of 1,310 watts. I mean, this thing's got a lot of power. I really enjoyed riding this bike. But that's kind of where we're going. A lot of brands are really, really going to be kind of fighting to see where they hold, I guess, the most in the space. Because if they have to get rid of a throttle or if they have to be limited to 750 watt, how are they going to stand out from other brands? It used to be power that allowed you to stand out from other brands. Now we're going to have to really get into the accessories and customization of these bikes in order to be, selling to the masses and making a real difference in, I guess, overall aesthetics and what would make you buy it over somebody else's. All right, so now let's talk about the real reason why we're seeing so many electric bike laws and regulations, and that's because of the Talaria and Surron community. Now, I've owned this bike right here, the Talaria Triple X, and I enjoyed it immensely. It was one of my favorite bikes to ride. I just found that I wanted something a bit more powerful. I still haven't found what I wanted just yet. Maybe the Stark Varg. Comment below. Let me know if you think I should pick one up. But one of the workarounds with this, in order to make this an electric bike, was the fact that you can get a pedal kit for it. And the way the law was written is it just had to have pedals. They didn't have to be ones that propelled the bike forward, just pedals. And this made it an electric bike. And that was that gray area that it fit in. With that being said, you could either get this pedal kit or a different pedal kit to be able to make your bike look like an electric bike. I keep doing air quotes because this is something they've gotten away with for quite some time. And what they've been writing in legislation to be able to make it more difficult for people like me and you who own other electric bikes. I find myself wanting maybe 1,000 watt motor on all of my bikes. 750 watts is it's pretty decent. You can get a decent peak out of it, but I'd much prefer 1,000 watt motor. And I don't really ride reckless, at least around a lot of people when it comes to like cars and pedestrians. But there are people that do that. And I'm not knocking it. To a point, I'm not. Like, if you're doing wheelies in the road and you're just minding your own business, you're doing a wheelie in the road, so be it. But if you're like a group ride, literally shutting the streets down, I find that pretty annoying. And that's just my personal opinion. You don't like it, that's fine. No beef. But at the end of the day, there are consequences for your actions. So if you're doing wheelies and you're zigzagging in traffic and you get hit by a car, you kind of had it coming. Just my personal opinion. You pay attention to the road, you mind your surroundings, and things like this won't happen to you. Do know that I'm about to show you something that I feel bad that this happened to the kid, but I'm very happy that he's okay. Hopefully it knocks some sense into him. That he should pay attention to his surroundings and obey the traffic laws, especially if you're going to do some stupid stuff. Right? Here we go.
Payton!
Dude, so lucky.
Payton!
Get up! Hey, roll that shit!
So lucky, man.
Payton! Oh my God.
I hope his parents are hugging him today. That is insane. He's probably 15, 16. Life could have ended.
Bro, is my camera recording? Is my camera recording? Is my camera recording?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
Bro, I fucking thought.
Oh my fucking God.
Are you good?
Knocked his shoes right off of his feet, his helmet completely sideways. He got so lucky. I'm going to imagine that that car might have been traveling over the speed limit. Speed limit there might be like 35, 40. That car could have been going 50 miles an hour. If he was just a little bit further out on the road, gone. Man, that's insane to me. And don't go commenting in the comment section below saying he deserved it, all that stuff. I don't think so. I think everybody has moments where they get second chances. And this is a moment where he can realize, like, man, I messed up. Like, I really need to watch myself. Your life could have ended, dude, in that blink of an eye, a little bit further. You know, hopefully you come to the realization, not saying you need to stop riding those bikes, not saying you need to stop doing wheelies or jumping, because I would be lying to you if I told you to stop doing that. I don't think you should. See, I come from a professional BMX background. I would never stop riding because I grinded down somebody's handrail and then went out into the road and got hit by a car. I would never stop riding. I would just be more mindful of my surroundings. And your boys definitely almost, I think your friend was what saved you, because he yelled your name right before you got hit. And I think what made you lock up your brakes.
I know you're chill, but what's...
I think you have to do.
Peyton, are you good?
Let me see your hand.
He's in shock.
You feel like you hit your head?
No, I didn't hit my head.
Didn't hit his head. All right, so I'm going to pause this again. But if you look, this is insane. He has shoes on his feet there. This is his back wheel. This is his front wheel. He was facing the other direction. His bike got knocked 180 degrees. His body's still facing the other direction. Hits his head, obviously, because his helmet is wrapped around his neck. If you're going to ride these bikes, don't be wearing half-cut helmets. Don't be wearing those mountain bike half-cut helmets. That's so stupid. The MIPS protection on those things don't do anything. DOT approved helmet if you're going to wear one, and you should wear one. But man, dude, you got so lucky. Insane. I want to know your guys' opinion on this in the comment section below. And don't go in the comment section, like I said, roasting this kid. He deserved it. I don't think he deserved it. I think now he has a second wind and can come back from this and be like, yo, I messed up. I need to pay attention to my surroundings. Life can end like that. All right, so moving on from that story, we have one that's a very short one, but is e-bike rider admits to causing cyclist crash death. Now, this is a story that's been going on for quite some time now. I think it happened, it said, in 2022. The person died, and this guy is going to be sentenced on March 10th. 23-year-old man sentenced on March 10th because he's admitting that he was the cause of death of the other cyclist while he was riding his e-bike. I'll keep you guys posted on this. Let me know your thoughts on this entire segment in the comment section below. I will keep you guys posted on any new updates in regards to e-bike laws and registrations and regulations in California, New York City, and so on. Let me know what's affected you so far, what you're riding, and what your plans are to be able to, I guess, tackle this going from 2025 to 2026. So with that being said, if you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and catch you in the next one.